Okay, so I wanted to make a video kind of showing you how I'm going to rig this character. This is the character I'm going to provide to the class for everybody to use. I've actually spent a fair amount of time today fixing this character to make it even more user-friendly for anybody doing the Playmobil version of the assignment. So this character is in 3ds Max. Real quick, it is broken down into 3 parts. Those parts are really just there because that's how I have the textures broken down. So the face or the head is one texture, the body is one texture, and the other parts are one texture. If you want to modify this file to turn it into a different character or something, you could go in here and do something like go into the legs, select the element, grab the hair and just delete it. And then, of course, it wouldn't have the hair. Or you could even just set it to non-renderable or whatever else you want to do to it. I went ahead and redid all the UVW mapping and flattened them and turned them into templates. So this guy should be significantly easier to modify for anybody in the course. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this and I'm going to come to Mixamo. So Mixamo is run by Adobe, but you have to have an Adobe ID to log in. This does not have to be an ID associated with a paying account. In fact, mine's not. It just has to have an Adobe ID. So if you have one, you can log in with it. Otherwise, you have to make one. And then you'll need to upload a character. If your character is in a zip file, .zip, basically that's just a compressed file that contains the FBX of your character and the texture files. You can upload it that way and you'll be able to see the character with the textures on it in here. Otherwise, if you upload an FBX file without the textures in a zipped folder, it'll only show you your model with no textures. In fact, here it looks like I may have forgotten the face or something. Not that it matters, I can fix that later. But you can see the coloring for the hair and the pants and the torso's all working. I don't know what happened with the face, but that's okay. So I'm basically in Mixamo, you kind of define where all the parts are. So picking where the chin is, a little hard on this round-headed character, but you do your best. The wrists, the elbows, the knees, and the groin. Again, it has a little guide here. I'm going to choose no fingers for the skeleton because, well, it's got claw hands. Hit next. Now this is kind of like magic. It rigs it like that fast. As again, you can see it, we're doing it in live time. It takes about a minute, so not super long. Again, it says it can take up to 2 minutes. I found that's not generally the case. Sometimes it takes longer or not. Again, as we wait for this, you'll see it'll pretty much be rigged and ready to go. Now, what I'm going to do with this after it's done is I'm going to download it. You can actually download it or and any animations inside the animations over here. So you can actually download multiple copies of this file with any different animation or animation sets you want from Mixamo. And once it gets done here, we'll put it in here and play with it. I guess I'm going to pause the camera because I don't know if I just want to hear me prattle on for 2 minutes. Okay, so here we go. The character has been rigged. Now at this point, it's asking you to look at it and see how it's moving or if it's working right. It's not perfect. Again, it's got a lot of bending in the middle where maybe I wouldn't want that. You could modify this later. So if I didn't like how it's bending in the middle, I could go back and try adjusting it. So maybe I could try playing around with the groin location, maybe moving it up might help a little bit. Or when I bring this back over into 3ds Max, I could try playing around with the weights on the torso in there. Let's go ahead and hit back and maybe tweak it here. So maybe I'll move this up a little bit. And again, no fingers. Next. I'm going to pause it again. Okay, and here we are. It looks like it's a little better. It's still a little bit kind of bendy here where I feel like it probably should be more straight. But that might be something I have to fix in the envelopes in Max. All right, so you can see here, here's our character, and basically you can go through and pick any of the animations in the animation set, or you can even download it. So maybe I'll just download the character by itself. Just original pose, looks good, download. And then that's going to download a fully rigged character. Now, this character is not going to use one of our animation tools. It's going to use it's going to be using its own bones. So we're going to try converting it and seeing how it goes. But if you want to look, if I wanted to use this in a game, I could download the animation set, bring this into Unity or Unreal, and have it be good to go. Real quick, let me find a walk. It's kind of a interesting one. We'll do it in place. Flip it. All right, so you can see here it is, and I might need to. I can always play around with some of the settings if we want it. All right, but anyway, here we go. There's our character sneaking around. If we want it, and I could download it, and it would download basically the file. So, okay, so let's go ahead and come back over to Max. I'm going to go ahead and save this, and we're going to create a whole new file here. And I'm going to go, all right, so I'll need to go to my downloads, and let's see. There it is. So Playmobil files FBX. Now again, I'm going to move this into my folder with the Playmobil folder because all the textures are in there, and I feel like I'm a little worried it will keep those textures if I don't. So I'm going to put that there. Let's go ahead and go import. Again, not a big deal to fix the textures, but hey, why do extra work if we don't have to? And let's open up our brand new one here. And there we go. It does look like the face didn't quite keep because it was broken, but it's an easy enough fix. Let's grab the face. I know, be quiet here, close. And make sure it's looking for an old file, and we renamed it, so there it is. All right. So here it is. Here's our character, yay. Again, if its materials aren't working right, we can double check. I can get the little eyedropper here. Let's make sure it can find it. Body looking good. Let's double check the arms and legs. Again, I don't know if, oh yeah, it looks like it's loaded okay. All right, so there we go. We have our 3 different textures. Everything's working good. There's our Playmobil character. Now, again, it's fully rigged with a skeleton. Let's go ahead and save this. I'm going to go ahead and try to keep everything together here. Downloads. And we will say rigged with Mixamo skeleton. Save. Actually, you know what? Let's do save as. And I'm going to save it back to an older version of Max. Yeah. The reason I'm doing this, if any students are using an older version of Max, I want to make sure it stays compatible, and you can always open up in a newer version. So if you're using like 23 or 22, it won't open 24. So let's go ahead and do that. And then now, let's try this out. So last time I did this, there was a bit of an issue. So we'll get to see. But I have downloaded an auto biped script for this. There was a bit of a funkiness with the hands. So let's see how it goes. Yeah, see, there's a little bit of weirdness with the hands there. Still going to be. But So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, after this is done running the script, it should create the biped, fix all the envelopes, put everything kind of back, and get it good to go. I will need to fix the hand rotations. They're funky. I see it's all twisted up. But I'll fix that, and then I'm going to save that version that's been fixed as the download link for the final. If you're watching this video and you have your own custom character, I'll provide the auto biped script as well if you want to convert it to biped. If you do, again, you're going to probably have to have the hands here fixed a little bit because it's a little bit weird, right? So again, I don't think it's the envelopes look good, so it's not the skin modifier that we're going to need to do. It's something to do with the biped itself, so they'll kind of play around with it. Getting all the way down to the hand might take a minute, but and it might just be that it rotated it. Let's try to. Yeah, if you look here, it's just rotated funky. So I think it's probably because maybe the I don't know, the script might be having trouble or something, but I think it'll work fine without having to do really much other than modify the rotation of the hand to kind of be in a little bit better of a place. Might be a little bit of an envelope funkiness happening, but you know, we can play with it. All right. If I don't like it here, I might need to play around with the envelopes a little bit or redo the enveloping. I really don't want to though, because the envelope's the hard part, right? So, again, I might be able to kind of come in here and tweak this envelope as well, just a little bit. Anyway, play around with that. I don't want to spend too long tinkering in this video. If you watched it for 12 minutes, thank you for watching. And if I find a quick fix for this, I'll make sure to post it. Otherwise, it's just going to be a little bit of tinkering until I get it right.